And my mic is frickin' muted again. Good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, feds and degenerates, cuckolds of all ages. It's time for Miles Culture Plate. I'm your host, Mild Kevin Miles, who've been talking with a mute mic for 4 minutes straight. So it is September 25th, 2024. Not drinking whiskey. Come on into the chat and say hello. I wasn't really saying anything important, thank God. In fact, it's probably a good thing the mic was muted. I don't know what was going on. I was rambling just about, life and depression and just, giving a shout out to folks out there who might be dealing with rough times. So yeah, feel free to email me. Down in the description is my email. If you're going through tough times and just need an ear. You need someone to listen. I'm willing to listen. Also, down in the descriptions, all my social media accounts. Feel free to follow me on all those social media. I went early today because I have something to do after the show. That's why I'm not drinking the whiskey. Hopefully, it'll be back Saturday if possible. But anymore, I've been real busy before and after the show, so I'm not sure that whiskey is necessarily a good idea. And as Cool Frog said in the chat a couple of weeks back, I don't need it. It definitely helps a little with like stage fright and my nervousness because I'm a very nervous, shy person, believe it or not. But yeah, that's where we are. So we have an interesting show for you today. We're going to be talking about all the interesting quotes coming out of the presidential election. We might touch on the polls. I'm not sure. Uh, yeah, I went live early because I have some things going on after the show. But oh, great! I just clicked on something. Okay, no, it didn't do anything. All right. Even though I went live early, I'm actually more prepared than I have been the last few weeks. It's still not perfect, but at least I have a show to put together for you folks. So strap in and stay tuned. Let's go ahead and get into this. Wisconsin mayor toting away an absentee ballot box personally. The mayor himself grabbed a two-wheel dolly, went out and picked the damn thing up himself. Mayor of a central Wisconsin city who ran for office on his opposition to absentee ballot drop boxes said Wednesday that he did nothing wrong when he put on work gloves, donned a hard hat, and used a dolly to cart away drop box outside City Hall. Hang on real quick. I need to look up something real fast. Because I want to have another story queued up for right after this. I just thought of something. And of course, a news story from yesterday is becoming hard to find. Okay, here we go. There we go. I'll have it queued up for next. There we go. So Wausau Mayor Doug Deeney posed for a picture Sunday to memorialize his removal of the city's lone drop box that had been put outside City Hall around the same time late last week that absentee ballots were sent to voters. The election clerk, Caitlin Bernard, said she reported the issue to the Marathon County District Attorney as well as the State Election Commission. This is no different than a maintenance guy moving it out there, Deeney said Wednesday. I'm a member of staff. There's nothing nefarious going on here. I'm hoping for a good result. The move, which sparked protest in the city Tuesday night and anger among Dropbox advocates, is the latest example in swing state Wisconsin over the fight over whether communities will allow the drop boxes. More than 60 towns, villages, and cities in 9 counties have opted out of using absentee ballot drop boxes for the presidential election in November, according to a tally by the group All Voting is Local. Drop boxes are being embraced in heavily Democrat cities, including Milwaukee and Madison. Wisconsin has a total of 72 counties. Drop boxes were used in 2020 because of COVID, blah, blah, blah. After Trump lost the state, he and Republicans alleged that drop boxes facilitated cheating. Oh, look at this. You got to love the AP, even though they offered no evidence. I guess the 2000 Mules movie just doesn't exist, right, folks? Democrat election officials and Republicans argued the boxes are secure. Wisconsin Supreme Court, then controlled by conservatives, banned the use of them, but now the liberal controlled court reversed that decision and said they could be used. However, the court left it up to each community to decide whether to install them. The Elections Commission in guidance sent in July to 1,800 plus clerks who administer elections in Wisconsin said it was up to municipal clerks to determine the location of drop boxes. Wausau, with about 40,000 people, was among the cities that did not use an absentee drop box in August for the primary. Wausau is located in Marathon County, which Trump won by 18 points in 2016 and 2020. Deeney ran as a conservative and was backed by a Republican Party in the nonpartisan mayor's race. He's in his first year as Wausau mayor after being elected in April. Denny said he and city clerk never discussed the drop box before it was placed outside City Hall late last week. Denny said he decided Sunday to act when he realized it was not secure. Bernard said Wednesday that the city planned to secure the drop box to the ground and unlock it, but it was removed before that could be done. The box was locked and contained no ballots, she said. Not a single absentee ballot had been returned to the city of Wausau as of Monday, according to the Wisconsin Elections Commission. So, what's the controversy? So, this is so stupid. So the city clerk is butthurt because she had it put out there, but it wasn't even secured to the ground. So let's say 100, now granted they said it was empty, but let's say 100 Republicans had put their votes in there and it wasn't secured to the ground. And then in the middle of the night, somebody just showed up and snatched it. Now you've just disenfranchised 100 voters. And yet she's butthurt that he took it away before it could be secured to the ground. Oh my God, these frickin' people. So yeah, this is going to be spun as voter disenfranchisement because the mayor just removed the easy drop box. Look, if you have the time to go turn in a ballot, you have the time to walk into a polling place. Look, I know the state of Missouri, at least. I know a lot of states have a law, and I know at least the state of Missouri has a law saying that employers must give you a certain amount of time off on election day. Now, it's unpaid, but it has to be excused. As long as your work schedule is overlapping the polls by more than 4 hours, you have to be given 4 hours to go vote. I know that's the way it is in Missouri. Unfortunately, yeah, I tend to go to Missouri a lot to work, but I live in Kansas. And so, yeah, I know the Missouri law more than I know the Kansas law. I used to live in Missouri till right before I started doing this show. So yeah, there's that. So yeah, the things that get labeled as voter disenfranchisement, or the ways in which people are spinning things to claim that people are trying to steal the election is hilarious. Because we just got done. Well, I say we just got done. We've been debating all of the January 6th shenanigans. We've been debating the 2020 court cases. We've been debating everything involving Trump, and we've been debating everything involving Mike Lindell as a country. And so now here we are. This is the next presidential election after all of that madness, where we have spent 3.5 years being told how safe and secure elections are. And now, once again, we're being told that, well, the Republicans are trying to disenfranchise voters and affect the election in certain ways. And this is another thing that went viral yesterday. This was the thing I had to look up a minute ago. This is another thing that went viral yesterday. This is Trump paying for ladies' groceries, like paying for family.
Here, it's going to go down a little bit. It just went down $100.
Thank you so much.
We'll do that for you from the White House. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye. Nice.
Okay, so he literally just paid for groceries.
seeing you. Take the rest.
Okay, I did.
Here, it's going to go down a little bit. It just went down $100.
Thank you so much.
We'll do that for you from the White House.
Okay, I guess there's another video where then he follows up by saying, and we're going to do that if we win. Bring down the cost of your groceries if we win. And so the left is freaking out, saying that this is buying votes. That this is the same as buying votes. Look, so here's the original. This is the original tweet from Ron Filipowski, right? And look, it's not buying. So Good Shepherd here, I don't know who this is. So yeah, don't contact any of these people. He didn't say to vote for him, so it's not buying votes, it's an act of charity. Yeah, he never said she had to vote for him. But yeah, here's somebody vote buying on Wikipedia, posting a screenshot. Probably counterfeit. Isn't that against the law? When the camera stopped rolling, he retrieved the money. Yeah, meanwhile, you got Democrats literally signing bombs. Josh Shapiro of Pennsylvania signing bombs. That's what Democrats are doing while Trump is handing out money. So yeah, people in the comments calling it a bribe. But again, he never said that the money was conditional upon her vote. Meanwhile, you literally have Joe Biden and Kamala Harris somewhat truthfully admitting that the student loan forgiveness shenanigans are contingent on them being in office. So, there you go. We'll give you money, you just got to vote for us. But yet Donald Trump's not doing that. All right, folks. So yeah, we still have madness. Apparently World War III is still like inching ever closer. The Middle East is just insane. You have apparently rockets now hitting close to Tel Aviv. You have Israel threatening severe retaliation. It's on Lebanon. It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on. And, let's see. Let me actually do this part of the story first while we're talking about global war here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We got the consultant in the chat over on YouTube. Cheers and welcome. Talking about Obama and the free phones. And the consultant says, at least they're votes from the living. Yeah. Yeah, Obama giving away money for free phones. Here, just vote for me. All right, so we have Zelensky going to be showing up. Going to be showing up for a visit, and the U.S. is preparing $8 billion in arms aid packages for the Zelensky visit. What the hell? I didn't realize Reuters gave you follow for news about Lockheed Martin, General Dynamics, and Northrop Grumman. I might have to start looking into that. United States plans to announce more than $8 billion worth of military assistance for Ukraine on Thursday during President Zelensky's visit to Washington, two U.S. officials have said. The Biden administration has been engaged in urgent discussions with Congress to allow it to use up to $5.6 billion in military aid for Ukraine before September 30th, the end of the federal fiscal year when the authority was set to expire. On Thursday, U.S. officials said the White House intends to notify Congress it will move forward with the announcement of $5.6 billion drawdown from U.S. weapons stocks. Reuters reported this month that the Biden administration was considering a backup plan under which it would announce plans for shipments to Ukraine, but with an extended delivery timeline for the weapons and equipment, allowing for a more gradual transfer of resources without missing the deadline. So, package includes patrol boats, ammunition for, we covered that on the show. Presidential drawdown authority allows the president to draw from current weapon stocks to help allies in an emergency. Okay. So he has presidential drawdown authority to just give this stuff away. But I also find it interesting that this $8 billion worth of military assistance is not necessarily part of that. And it also comes as, of course, our Congress is trying to pass, just passed a continuing resolution. Even though Speaker Johnson said there would be no more continuing resolutions, things would have to be passed in the budget. He once again passed a continuing resolution to continue funding these frickin' wars. And Biden's just handing away our military stock to Ukraine. So, cheers to everyone whose taxpayer money is paying for a quagmire in the Middle East and in Ukraine. Cheers to everyone. All right. So in other news, we have China test firing intercontinental ballistic missiles into the Pacific Ocean. From AP Taiwan, Christopher Bodine here. China test fired an intercontinental ballistic missile into the Pacific Ocean on Wednesday, stirring concerns in the region already tense over Beijing's territorial claims and rivalry with the U.S. The ICBM carried a dummy warhead and fell into the designated area of the sea, the Defense Ministry said in a post to social media. The launch by the People's Liberation Army's rocket force was part of a routine annual training complied with international law and was not directed against any country or target, according to the statement. It's unclear how often China conducts tests over such a distance. In 1980, China launched one into the South Pacific. A map published in Chinese newspapers at the time showed the target area as roughly a circle in the center of a ring formed by the Solomon Islands. The U.S. and non-governmental organizations have said China has been building up its missile silos, but it's unclear how many missiles and nuclear warheads it has in its arsenal. Okay. Ambitions to set up a moon base on Mars and on Mars. Rocketry, okay. I'm not trying to get a whole history of Chinese military. But anyway, so a lot of comments from U.S. officials have said that China has not done this in several years. So you have that. I'm going to go ahead and remove myself for just a minute while I take care of my sinuses. I've still got that lingering sinus issue here. Hang on. Okay, sorry about that, folks. Don't really like to have a mustache full of snot while I'm on camera here. Okay, so yeah, there you have it. Let's see, where's that other video? Okay, here we go. So in other news on America's enemies, you have the Ayatollah of Iran posting this video that's essentially a direct threat to Donald Trump. Posted on the public website of the Ayatollah of Iran. Here you have a drone. God damn, that's loud. There, is that a little better? You have a drone driving onto, I'm assuming this is supposed to be Mar-a-Lago or Palm Beach, one of Trump's residences. Oh yeah, that's Mar-a-Lago. Yeah. And it hacks the camera, right? It hacks the camera, and someone back was able to access other cameras. Okay, then it accesses the phones of the people Trump's playing golf with. And they send the guy this text. Hacking. Soleimani's murderer and the one who gave the order will pay the price. Hacked his phone and sent him a text. Revenge is definite. And then, of course, the watermark of the Ayatollah here. Wow. Okay. So there you have it. You have Iran essentially issuing a direct threat to Donald Trump. A direct threat to Donald Trump. And now this comes after we've been told for weeks now that the Secret Service has known about threats from Iran on Trump's life. And we were told last week by Matt Gaetz that members of our government have revealed to him that there are 5 assassination teams operating in the U.S. with Trump as their target. Folks, pray for the president. Pray for the president. He needs it. I did see a little video the other day of let me find it. Let me just find it. Instead of telling you what I saw, I want you to see it too. This is Okay, so these are Hindus in India doing a protection chant on Donald Trump. I saw a comment on this video. I don't remember who commented, but I saw a comment on this video that was essentially India is doing more to protect the president than the Secret Service is. Long live Donald Trump. Donald Trump. Next President America. Next President America. Okay, so there we have it. We have India doing more to protect the president than the Secret Service. And I say that because the hell? I say that because of this. We had an inexperienced, so all kinds of information has been coming out about both assassination attempts. I guess we had a secret so here, this is a breaking story out of the New York Post. Inexperienced Secret Service agent had called tech support hotline for help piloting a drone ahead of the Trump rally shooting. And again, bombshell report. Preliminary report on the assassination attempt. Talked about multiple failures. So yeah, you've got the Secret Service essentially they've been trying to throw the local cops under the bus, but then you have reports like this. So here we go. This is another piece of news that broke. Shortly before the shots were fired, a Secret Service counter sniper saw local law enforcement running to the building with their guns drawn, but he did not. He failed to report to the protective detail to remove him from the stage. The counter sniper told the committee that while seeing officers with their gun drawn at the elevated level, the thought to notify someone did not cross his mind. Wow. So yeah, there you have it. They couldn't get the drones to work. Just didn't cross their mind to get him off the stage. Just failure after failure after failure. This feels like 9/11 all over again, where we're supposed to believe that all of these highly improbable, like things that should never happen, like 50 things that should never happen, happened in a row to make this happen. All right, folks, let's get into the important stuff. This is from the New York Times, and I hate going to the New York Times, but you know what? We're going to talk about both sides of this debate. So let's go to the New York Times. Alex Jones's Infowars is going to be auctioned off to pay Sandy Hook families. Sale of the website and property set for November could determine the conspiracy theorist's fate as a broadcaster. No, Alex Jones isn't going anywhere. Alex Jones is on X. Alex Jones is going to continue to exist. He's going to continue to have some sort of online presence. Alex Jones isn't going anywhere. I can guarantee you that. Houston bankruptcy judge ruled on Tuesday that assets from Alex Jones's Infowars can be auctioned off to help pay families of the Sandy Hook mass shooting victims and the defamation awards he owes them. This article is by Elizabeth Williamson from the New York Times here, by the way. Auction set for mid-November will include the Infowars website, social media accounts, broadcasting equipment, product trademarks, and inventory owned by Free Speech Systems, Infowars' parent company. Yeah, well, I'm sure that if Alex Jones can't obtain a computer and a camera, I'm sure there are millions of Americans who would do anything to get Alex Jones back on the internet. Mr. Jones' fate as a broadcaster most likely depends on who buys his business, though the Infowars name and assets are potentially of interest to a range of entities on the far right under terms of the sale anyone could bid. Mr. Jones spent years spreading the lies that, the Sandy Hook stuff, we're not going to repeat that because we're on YouTube. The relatives of the victims sued Mr. Jones in 2018 for defamation and were awarded more than $1.4 billion in damages in trials in Texas and Connecticut. Most of the families are likely to ever see as a small fraction of that, and they've been divided over how to equitably distribute the money. As the case is headed, he declared bankruptcy. The company declared bankruptcy. Since then, the families have been wrangling in bankruptcy court over assets and revenue that are far less than they originally envisioned. Oh, imagine that. So you had a judge that told Alex Jones that he literally could not testify that he was bankrupt or that he didn't have the kind of money they were saying that he had in the court. And they allowed them to just say that, make up crazy numbers. And they would not allow Alex to say, no, I literally don't have that kind of money. And now the families are wrangling over assets that are far less than they originally envisioned. Imagine that. Imagine that. His lawyers and other bankruptcy professionals will be paid first, leaving even less for the families. Damn straight. The Connecticut and Texas sides divided sharply over how to go after free speech systems. Lawyers for the families who sued Jones in Connecticut favored shutting down the company and liquidating its assets with the money distributed among the family members. Lawyers for the families who sued him in Texas favored a settlement in which he would pay them a percentage of his income over the next decade, most likely netting more money for each relative. As a condition of the latter deal, Mr. Jones would have to agree to never mention the event again. Okay, so let's talk about this. So you have Connecticut wanting it shut down and liquidated, and you have Texas wanting more money over time and to just allow him to do business. And of course, it looks like Connecticut, the people from Connecticut won the argument here. But honestly, to me, a lot of this is essentially this. This isn't what lawsuits are for. Lawsuits are for what they're talking about in Texas here. Lawsuits are for getting the justice of a repayment, right? That's what lawsuits are for. Even when they say punitive damages, the idea is not to punish. The idea is to, they've said they want Jones shut down. They want Jones off the air. They want Jones to starve. But the idea is not to punish. The idea is not to ruin the guy's ability to survive. The punishment is having to give money to the people you quote unquote defamed. That's the punishment. The punishment isn't being broke. The punishment is having to come up off of money and give it to your quote unquote victim. Now, look, I've seen people posting no less than 6 different documentaries on Sandy Hook that say far worse things than Alex Jones ever said. I don't know, man. Even the hit piece that HBO put out a couple of months back, the people they showed that were going to the families, that were harassing the families, none of them said Alex Jones sent us here. They were independent actors. And when I say actors, I don't mean they were fake. I mean they were, their actions were independent of what Alex Jones was doing. So again, you shouldn't want the guy to starve. You should use him as a cash cow. Allow him to continue to make money so that it continues to funnel money to you so that you are made whole. That's the point of a lawsuit. But the Connecticut families won. And they are going to shut down InfoWars and sell the assets. Now, again, there's a bunch of stuff in this article about, right wing outlets may want to buy InfoWars. Look, here's the thing. The deep state's gonna initiate a bidding war if right-wing journalists try to raise the money to buy InfoWars. If right-wingers try to buy InfoWars, the deep state will initiate a bidding war. And, the Soros types have far more money. Look, I don't know the exact, net worths or whatever, but yeah, even Elon Musk wouldn't compete with Soros in a bidding war. Honestly, I think the best case scenario is for us to say, hey, InfoWars is worth 0 if Alex Jones, Owen Schroyer, and Chase Geiser are not broadcasting on that platform. InfoWars is worth 0. We're not buying it. Feel free to buy it. Put your left-wing crap on there. So, of course, it didn't take long for Owen Schroyer to make a statement on this, and we're going to listen a little bit to Owen Schroyer here. And by the way, fucking shout out to Owen Schroyer. We covered him getting out of jail. I've been following him a little bit. I don't talk about these things often on the show, but shout out to Owen Schroyer. Here's his.
All right, guys. I've been getting a lot of messages about the breaking news about InfoWars, so I figured I would come on here and just make a public statement. Let me start with this. I've never been more proud of the work that I've done at InfoWars. You see, when I left sports media in 2016 to get into political commentary, it was InfoWars that invited me in. It was InfoWars that offered me a job. I was an anti-government guy. I was an anti-lying media guy. I was an anti-lying politician guy. And quite frankly, for somebody like me to break into the political media like that was not an easy thing to do. And there weren't really platforms out there that would host a guy like me or eventually give me a show.
I can totally empathize with that.
Create my own content in the way that I see fit.
But
InfoWars did. And it's now total confirmation that I made the right decision. And let me tell you, it was a decision that came with a lot of consequences.
Yeah, I want to say thank you, Rumble, and thank you, Chris Pavlovsky, for hosting me right here. Because quite frankly, I mean, look, I'm on YouTube right now. I'm on Elon Musk's X2. So thank you, Elon Musk, YouTube, unfortunately, you've censored me several times, so I'm not going to say thank you. I'm glad my message is getting out there in some shape or form, but quite frankly, yeah, thank you Rumble and thank you X.
Some obvious. I was put in prison. I've been sued multiple times. I've been attacked. I've been assaulted. I've been censored across the internet. I get blackballed from pretty much, or have been in the past, from pretty much all conservative outlets. But you notice that the narrative is changing. You notice that everybody sounds like InfoWars now. You notice that everybody wants to have Alex Jones on now. Because they're realizing Alex Jones and InfoWars were not censored, were not attacked, and now as of today, being shut down and liquidated, not for lying, but for telling the truth. Because you see, if it was for lying, then wouldn't it be the mainstream media on trial?
Yeah.
Trump-Russia collusion, Hunter Biden laptop is fake, vaccines are safe and effective,
Yep.
weapons of mass destruction. Should I go on?
And again, I want to say, because we are on YouTube, what he's saying about vaccines, please consult your physician. He is not a medical expert. He is not qualified to say these things about vaccines. Please consult your own medical experts on medical treatments for you and your family. Do not listen to online pundits like me. Your government and mainstream medical professionals want you to know that vaccines are safe and effective. But yeah, we'll go ahead and hear what he has to say.
So no, I've never been more proud of my work at InfoWars than I am today. I've never had total confirmation that I joined the right team of telling the truth and anti-corruption media than today when I joined InfoWars. And now, yet again, at this level of the InfoWars saga, people will see how the First Amendment and free speech is under attack.
Damn straight.
And all the weapons they will use against Americans to try to take your rights from you and shut you down.
And those weapons start by being pointed at people like Alex.
That's all I'm going to say on this. I'm not going to comment on the court developments or the legalese. I would advise you to tune into the Alex Jones show tomorrow. This is his company. This is his story.
Today on the Alex
I was just
Jones
honored to be a part of it. But stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. We're in a fight for the future of this country. We're in a fight for freedom. We're in a fight for truth. And it's never been more proof positive that I made the right decision in that choice to join InfoWars. And I've never been more proud of the work I've done at InfoWars than I am today.
All right. So there you have it from Owen Schroyer. Alex Jones had some comments today on the Alex Jones show. I didn't have that queued up. I couldn't find a clip of it before the show. So if you've got a clip of it, feel free to send it to me, but or we might cover it on the next show. But again, shout out to Jones and Chase Geiser and Owen Schroyer. Thank you for the work you do. All right, folks, let's get into the election. Trump is pulling ahead in almost every swing state, including Pennsylvania now. So here we have it. We're down to the nitty fucking gritty on this election. And honestly, I think the polls have been skewed. We're living 2016 all over again, folks. I think they're riding high on this train that oh look, the trendy women are going to vote for our woman candidate. And I think they're underestimating the popularity of people that just want to eat and live in safe communities. I think they're underestimating those people being willing to vote for a Donald J. Trump. And a lot of criticism I've been hearing of Republicans and this narrative that, well, if Kamala was the answer to all of our problems, then where has she been the last 3.5 years? Why hasn't she been working to fix things? And a lot of things people say is, well, the vice president doesn't really do a whole lot. That's the job of the president. Well, here in this clip, You have the president of the United States debunking that.
And as vice
On
president,
the
there wasn't
view.
a single thing that I did that she couldn't do. And so I was able to delegate her responsibility on everything from foreign policy to domestic policy.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
So there you go. You have Biden coming right out and saying what's down in the title of this video. As vice president, there's nothing that I did as president that she couldn't do. I gave her essentially the freedom to do what she felt she needed to do. So if she felt she needed to secure the border, she could have done that. If she felt she needed to do these radical Marxist price controls, she could have done that. If she wanted to bail out college students, she could have done that. Now, granted, Biden did try to do that, got slapped down by the Supreme Court not once, but twice. And, well, let's hear it from Kamala herself. Let's hear it from Kamala herself. You know, they love to tell on themselves. So let's hear Kamala talk about how successful they were.
We just need to move past the failed policies that we have proven don't work.
There you go. She wants you to move past the failed policies that she has proven does not work. Oh, folks. And, you know, we got Thomas Massey retweeted this out. This is from C-SPAN, him grilling the DOJ Inspector General about the now 2-year late January 6th report and why it's late. So let's hear what the Inspector General has to say about this report being late.
Inspector General Horowitz, over the past 3 years, I've questioned FBI Director Wray and Attorney General Merrick Garland about the federal assets, such as confidential human sources that were present on January 6th at the Capitol. And they have continuously stonewalled me. We've got no answers whatsoever about this from them. Now, you announced that you were.
Shout out to Thomas Massey and shout out to everyone in this fourth district of Kentucky who votes for this man. Fuck, you all deserve a big cheers. Thank you, Kentucky.
We're going to do a review.
Thank you for Massey and Paul.
Of the DOJ response and preparation, mainly preparation, I think, for January 6th. When did you start that review? When did you announce that review?
We announced it in 2021, but we ended up pausing it because of the ongoing criminal cases consistent with how we perform our work. We reinitiated it last year, and I'm in the process of.
Oh, wait. So instead of complying with congressional request to investigate your own assets that were present at the Capitol on January 6th, you paused that so that you could criminally go after protesters. Okay. So just seeing if I understand that correctly.
Reviewing a draft of the report.
So 3.5 years ago.
We're reviewing a draft of the report now. 3.5 years later, they're reviewing the draft.
It was announced that you'd be doing this review, and we still don't have the review, do we?
No, as I said, the reason is we paused the review because of the ongoing criminal work that would, consistent with our practice, we don't interfere with ongoing criminal investigations.
So,
okay. Yeah, we didn't want to interfere with our agents that set you up. We figured we'd go ahead and finish going after you, the American people, before we started looking in-house. It's backwards, folks. They work for us.
But now that you've restarted it, do you have evidence of the number of confidential human sources that were operating on the Capitol grounds on January 6th?
Our report will include the information in that regard.
Can you tell us today how many there were? Were there more than 100?
I'm not in a position to say that, both because it's in draft form and we have not gone through the classification review.
Not in a position.
I need to be
not even a
careful.
So we're
ballpark.
4 years in. The reason to do these reports, I think, is so we don't make this, if there were any mistakes, not to make the same mistakes again, but we are just.
Yeah, we're months away from a new inauguration, from a new confirmation hearing, or certification rather. A new certification of a new president. We're just a few months away. And we're not learning from the last time around.
Weeks away from the inauguration. We're 4 years, almost 4 years into this report. When is it going to be released?
It's certainly my hope and expectation, although I don't control this entirely because it has to go through a classification review, but certainly in the next couple of months is my hope.
Do you think,
Couple of months.
is there any consideration for the election about the release of this report? Would you delay it in order to not release it right before the election?
At this point, given the process that has to play out in terms of classification review and all of that.
Classification review.
I'm not making any, I don't have to make any judgment about that. We're still, that still has to go on.
One piece
but
of,
do you
well,
sense of when I did the Pfizer?
probably more than one
it's not
piece of
even
paper.
gonna be done in
One report. I was going to say one piece of paper. It's probably several pages long. But it takes the FBI this long to review one report. We're 4 years in, and he's saying it's still going to be a couple of months out.
in time for before the election.
It doesn't, I doubt it would be done in time for the election.
I
Is it
doubt
gonna
it'll be done before the election.
inauguration?
That is certainly my hope. And my
It's your hope.
plan.
We're 4 years into it, and we know what we do know is you're going to expose that there were confidential human sources at the Capitol. Can you tell us today how many went into the Capitol?
I'll have that information in the report. I'm not able to speak to information in there, both because it's in draft and we get a response from the department and the FBI,
Okay.
but also because I don't know yet what's classified and not classified.
So
So my hope is that if Trump survives and gets elected, because mind you, these kind of bureaucrats are the same people that are in charge of his security detail, or they're the same people in charge of running the elections. This same incompetence. Now, I say incompetence, but malfeasance. This same malfeasance is in charge of everything from now till then. And again, Trump didn't drain the swamp the first time around. But I've heard good things from Trump, talking about putting libertarians in his cabinet, talking about leaning on people like Bobby Kennedy to let him know who he can trust to put in his cabinet. I don't fully trust Bobby Kennedy either, by the way. Bobby Kennedy surrounded himself with CIA assets. But the fact that he's reaching out and not trusting the Republican ears, or the Republican mouths in his ear, the Republican whispers in his ear, the swamp, is a good sign that I hope he will drain some of these swamp creatures out of our government.
if they broke the law, if they went into the Capitol, which we pretty much know there were confidential human sources who went into the Capitol and right there alongside of everybody else, wouldn't they need to follow DOJ CHS protocols? And do you know if those were followed?
They should follow CHS protocols. And again, we'll include that information in the report.
Do you know how many were
Capitol Hill
reimbursed for
Securities,
travel?
that's what CHS is.
As I sit here, I don't recall the number.
You
But I
don't
wouldn't-
recall, or you won't tell us?
Well, and if I did know it, I wouldn't be in a position to tell you because we still have to go through.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Before
So
you're
yeah,
into this, you're supposed to be the organization.
You're
that goes
here
and
to
gets these
testify,
answers when
sir.
The FBI and the DOJ stonewall Congress, but I feel like We're 4 years into this. We're not even going to get this information you're telling us now before the election, and maybe not even before the next inauguration. How would we make any corrections or without that
You're
information?
here literally to answer questions, just as everyone in our federal government in these hearings. They're literally to answer the questions of the government. And you're saying that you can't answer any questions. You gotta love it. So that's pretty much it. The only thing I didn't cover that I had queued up was this. We got this out of Ohio. We have yet another train derailment with a chemical leak in Whitewater Township, Ohio. Evacuation order for 210 homes in the area. Around 6 p.m. Wednesday, Ohio DOT confirmed that roads at US 50 and State Route 128 are reopening to traffic. So Central Railroad of Indiana said the rail car began venting styrene around 1 p.m. Tuesday. Rail car is no longer venting, and the styrene is forming up and firming. So, yeah, here we go. More poison. Cause headaches, nausea, respiratory issues. Fire department issued an evacuation. So, yeah, more train issues causing more chemical spills in Ohio, a state that certainly does not need any more. Anyway, so that's going to be the show, folks. Please tune in this Saturday, same bat time, same bat channel, 6 p.m. Central. Although, we went early today, but, it's normal bat time, normal bat channel, 6 p.m. Central, right here, wherever you're watching me on Rumble, X, or YouTube. Please do me a favor before you head out, click that thumbs up button. Click that thumbs up button. If you're new here, please follow me, not only on whatever platform you're watching me, but also on all the social media down in the description. And if you're new here, also please share this to other platforms and feel free to go watch another video. Watching a second video really helps with the algorithms. The thumbs up helps with the algorithms, and the sharing cross-platform really helps with the algorithms. I would appreciate if you folks can do those 3 things if you're new here. If you're not new here, hey, welcome back, folks. Welcome back. So cheers to everyone watching. And cheers to those watching later on demand. Always appreciate having you here. Consider coming back 6 p.m. Central this Saturday and joining the chat, saying hello, letting me know you're here, joining the show, because this show is for you. Definitely love having my audience out there. So until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. Outlast those haters. Don't get any on you. And if you do, rub that shit in real good. I'll catch you next time on Mild's Culture Plate. Until then, folks, happy hump day. Have a great rest of your week, and good night.